I'm Bonnie Megowan, Bonika Shears, and I'm the Bonnie in Bonika. I'm a shear sharpener first, then I train sharpeners, and then we produce the Bonika shears, which are the first multicultural shears ever designed. And the first show we were ever at in 1997, we met Dave Ray from New York City. He was judging the contest that day. And I think you already had a book or two published by then, haven't you?
I don't remember. In 97, I might not have.
Ah.
I was probably working on something, but maybe articles printed, but not the full book.
I've been so impressed with you. You have such a big resume. I mean, everything from being judges at different hairstyling contests. Every show I go to, you're one of the judges, it seems like. And you've got a whole array of books, and one of them made it on New York Times. I want you to tell me about that. How did you do that? Because I've got a book out, and I haven't had that many people buy it. I haven't got on New York Times. I would like to know that your secret of your success, sir.
Well, I wrote this book 2010. I think I started in 2000, but I published it in 2010. So it's been on the market for quite some years. And somehow, 2018, the end of 2018, New York...
8 years later?
Yeah, they
Oh,
picked it
really?
up in I want to say in October.
So maybe there's hope for me yet, huh?
So it's funny when the printing company called me and said, your book has been selected to be in the first quarter of 2019's bestsellers for New York Times. I said, so what is it going to cost me?
Yeah, that would have been my question.
He
yeah.
says, nothing. They called us and said they actually had people who were reading books, and you're the only book that qualified for that category. So they have, they have genres of books based on, I guess, lifestyles or whatever. And in customer service, my book was chosen. So I created this book called Customer Service Is, with the three ellipses, ...
Yeah.
And I make you decide what the is. And just from being in the beauty industry, I wrote this book to help stylists and anybody. I'm sympathizing with anybody who's in small business. How do you treat people? I've learned that doing here is one thing, but having empathy for people and validating people, making people feel special, as opposed to tearing people down when you become a hairdresser. Because a lot of times I've seen hairdressers do it, where they'll say things like, "Oh, your hair doesn't look good. I can make it look better."
Yeah.
That's not a great way to introduce yourself. I will always say to them, I think your hair is great, but I can make it look better. So don't ever let somebody feel like they're not validated. So I kind of wrote about this. How do you speak to people? How do you address clients? How do you address, issues in your own environment, like your salon? Because, a salon is a place where there's always some excitement. And it's not from the hair. It's from personalities.
Yeah.
Especially,
I've seen that.
Can I say this? Especially, maybe I shouldn't say Bonnie. Should I say it?
What? You try? Is it a B word?
Oh!
No. Okay. Well, I don't know.
Especially in the African American salons.
Oh, no, I didn't know that's what you were going to say.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say something derogatory about
I
women.
I don't speak.
That's what I was expecting.
Thing,
I was going to have to bleep it out.
Well,
but
no. I don't address women in any. I don't.
You know what? I don't think it's just African American. As a sharpener, I've been in all the salons, and the most drama I have seen have been in white salons.
Okay,
Were people in the back crying because the salon owner was mean to them, and then women in the back comparing who had the best boob jobs, and I get all kinds of drama in the white salons.
That's a different kind of.
Different kind of drama?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
That drama is.
Go on with your story then.
I'm not going to give all the drama that's there, but the drama might be slightly different. And sometimes you have crybabies. I'm not talking about crybabies. I'm talking about drama that has to do with maybe relationships, or somebody's taking somebody's husband. It's a stylist that's taking a client's husband. All that crazy stuff happens. So I don't want to go there right now.
I've seen that in white salons too, but it was one girl taking the other girl's wife.
Okay, that's a whole different thing. Let me drink some of my Coke Zero.
Yeah, and the whole salon split up and then it closed.
That needed the Coke Zero for that one. So
actually, you needed something in the Coke Zero for that one.
Yeah, but so I'm just saying, in customer service, it's all the way around. I find that sometimes I've seen issues where, and I think one of the things why they picked my book is what they told me is that I was very real.
Yeah, and
They
you
s-
are.
They
You
said
always are.
your book didn't
And
seem
you're
like
writing
you were
and-
lecturing people. It seemed like you're talking from experience, and people could identify. You weren't giving like a bunch of theoretical ways to solve a problem. You were very direct. I mean, I actually spoke to people at New York Times, and they told me why they picked the book. They said your book was so direct that we decided to feature it. And so obviously my book sales went up. Don't tell me how much money I made, 'cause that's a whole other story. But my book sales went up for that first quarter. So it was from January to
And your
March.
book's on Amazon, right?
It's on Amazon.
It still is on Amazon?
Still is on
What
Amazon.
is the, tell me the title again?
So it's customer service is
Okay.
dot.
And we'll have a link below.
Below. Yeah.
Probably the link to your website. Where did they?
Yeah.
Because it might be a little cheaper on your website. Or
It's-
I'm about saying.
Let me see. I think it might be a little cheaper on my website. I think
Okay,
you're
I'll
right.
put the link below.
The only thing is, with my website, you got to pay for shipping. Whereas Amazon, if you're a Prime member, you don't pay for
Oh.
shipping. So you have that. And also on Amazon, you have the downloadable version if you don't want to have like
That's
the Kindle
true.
version.
That's
You can
true.
get it.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have offers, you get it for free. I don't care. And it's not about only making money. It's about changing lives, changing how we operate. Yeah, I want to make money too, but it's about changing lives.
Yeah, and customer service is key. I mean,
It is
you can
key.
be the best hairstylist in the world, but if you don't treat your customers right, it's
Mm-hmm.
and vice versa. I've seen some people that aren't the best at doing hair, but they're so charming to their customers, they're going to keep coming back.
I
and
have
back.
I have two cousins who are hairdressers. Well, one doesn't do hair anymore. She was a better hairdresser, but the other one was not so great. But she has clients because the clients.
Is your
like
cousin
her.
going to be watching this video?
I don't care. She
Okay.
does. I didn't call her name. So
Don't tell her.
yeah, but she was not the best hairdresser, but she was nice to people.
Mm-hmm.
So people gravitated to her. The other one could style hair, but people didn't like her.
Yeah.
So
And same thing with shear
no,
sharpening.
No, guess what she does now?
What she do?
She works for the cruise lines. She works in the office running all the paperwork in the cruise lines. Out of
Does she
Florida.
still have a job since the pandemic came in?
I haven't spoken to her for a while, but she did that for a couple of years now. She liked that.
Well, tell me about your other books, because you have how
So
many books now?
I actually have 12 books published now.
Wow.
Well, one was collaborated with another group just for the pandemic. So it's called Returning to the Chair. That's the last one we
Mm-hmm. Oh,
wrote.
really? Okay, I didn't
so
know
it's called
about that
Returning
one.
to the Chair. It's written
Is that
by-
one on Amazon
It's
now
on
too?
Amazon,
Okay.
and it's only $9.99.
Oh,
It's really
okay.
cheap, and you can get the downloadable version and the hard copy is the same price. We decided
Returning to the chair. Okay.
Returning to the Chair, and we did it in about 4 or 5 weeks. So it was published. I think it was uploaded to Amazon. I want to say the end of May or somewhere around the end of May roughly, and it's been great. You can also get the link. You see the link below. Where you can download it
Okay,
directly
yeah.
from me.
Yeah, I'll put some
And
links below.
yeah, it's four experts collaborated. So I was one of the experts, and so it's a great read. Just look for Returning
That's
to the
amazing.
Chair.
This is the first I heard about
So we
this.
gave
That
you
would
all
be
of
a
the
great book.
post-pandemic protocols as
Yeah.
to how to return to the salon, and we did lots of stuff. That was a great read. It's about maybe 70, 80 pages.
Okay. Yes. Easy read,
Easy
but
read.
it's
And-
important
and
important
not only that,
information.
big fonts.
Okay. Well, that's yeah.
Big fonts. So that's a big seller right there. And actually, most of my books, I shouldn't say most, all of my books are large fonts. 12, some of them are sometimes 14, depending on the type of book. And I know a lot of hairdressers, and I hate to say this, they don't really want to read. They want to do hair.
Yeah.
So you have to make it where they want to stay in the book and read. Not, the prints are so small, they don't want to read it. So I do the font's quite nice, so that you don't need the glasses to read them. You know, I wear glasses. So I have several books. I have one. My first book was Mind Your Business. And don't take that literally. I don't mean to mind your business. I mean to mind your own business, running your business. And then customer
Clever name.
yeah.
I like it.
Customer service was the second one.
That was number 2.
Number
Okay.
2. And then I think I did some color books in between that. But I went back 3-4 years ago and did one book called The New Testament of Customer Service, because the world has changed. So just saying please and thank you is not enough. Or good morning or good afternoon or I'm sorry. Those things are not enough. You also have to know how to marry the social enabled marketplace with all of the techniques about how to have good manners.
Yeah.
So how do you do surveys? How do you keep records of clients? How do you reach out to clients to say happy birthday or thank you or to see what they don't like about your business and how you can improve it? You have to have a way to reach people. You have to know how to respond to clients making comments to you on social media.
Yeah.
You have a team that can follow your Instagram page or your Facebook page and when they're making complaints and address it on Facebook or this whatever social media site, take them offline, fix the problem, and when the problem is fixed, come back to that same audience so we resolve the issue. Because you have to have a follow-up. So all this stuff is in the book. So it's called the New Testament of Customer Service. So we do what is called the gospel truths of customer service. That's the whole concept of it. So that's one of the books. I have books on color. I think I have 5 books on color.
Well, I know you helped write the textbook that the Empire Schools use.
Empire Schools use that book. I worked with Randy Rick, who owned that.
You know, I wrote a couple little 2 pages of that.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So I did the color and the cutting book.
Yeah, you did a huge amount for them. I only did 2 pages.
That was quite some time. Even the illustrations and so we had to have them designed and so
Yeah.
forth. That was a lot of work. That even catapulted me into wanting to do more writing because that was a great experience.
Yeah, now do you have, I mean, what's your background? Do you have like an English degree or something?
Actually,
what kind of education to become such a great writer?
So I mastered in English when I was younger.
Okay,
And,
I thought you detected that.
Secret be told, I was a school teacher. I taught English, French.
I didn't know that. I learned something about you every time we talk.
I was an English teacher, English literature teacher, French teacher, and a chemistry assistant in the school.
Chemistry assistant. Well, that was my background.
Yeah. So that's where that was my previous life. That was not as fulfilling because I didn't like working with students all day.
Yeah, who
so
does?
The beauty industry I started when I was like 13. So I've been doing it for, should I say how long? 40 years. So that same 2 cousins I spoke about, their mother was the one who started me doing it.
Oh, really? Okay.
That was crazy. So I decided to leave the.
You need to write another book about your life. I mean, you really
that book,
do.
That book
would
would
be
actually
so
have no
interesting.
end. I have so many stories. You know some of the stories, and I'd have to make some of them really nice.
You'd have to have a whole chapter on the number of shoes you have. You know that with the shoes I have known.
And look at the shoes I'm wearing today.
I know those are
just take
those
them so you
are
can see.
yeah.
You can
Put
see
them
my
up on the
shoes?
camera. Yeah. Those. What's it say on them?
It says nothing.
It's got. It's just kind of like.
It's just design. Oh, just designs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I ordered the shoes from Facebook. From one of these ads you see running around, I ordered from Facebook.
Do you?
Yeah, and it fit me beautifully. It's one of my best fitting shoes. I actually feel like I'm walking on air.
So what size?
These are 12.
12s. Oh, okay.
And,
That'd be too small for my husband. Sorry. I was gonna steal them.
Yeah, they're very comfortable. Very comfortable shoes. So yeah, we kind of got sidetracked there about shoes, but yeah. So education was my background, and so that's why I'm very specific about the way I speak.
By the way, I love talking to you, Dave. I just
Why?
really enjoy your stories, and you're just so
I have
much
so
fun.
many stories.
You have so many stories.
I
I know.
do.
I just didn't mean to interrupt. Go on about your books. I
No,
understand.
yeah, I just have stories. I don't know. My life is filled with drama, but I've written 5 books on color. The first one is Operation Color Storm. That is a basic book of hair coloring. So if you don't know anything about color, or if you're confused about color, that would be a great book for you because it doesn't teach you brands of color. It teaches you how to do color and to understand color. So you can apply it to any brand of product, any product line you want. I did another one called The Fear Factor, and fear is spelled with a F-H-I-A-I-R, like hair with an F on it. Fear Factor. 108 tips to successful hair coloring. And why did I use 108 as opposed to 100 is because Antigua is 108 square miles. So I decided to do 108 tips in that book. And then I have another one called the Hair Coloring Pamphlet. That one is a very small book, but what it has is all the ingredients that make up hair color. So you know what you're allergic to if you were to use a product, you know what's in the formula or the formulae. You would know what's in there, so you can know, okay, I can't use this product in my hair, or this is what's causing me to have an irritation or so forth. So it gives you all the ingredients of what works, what make the product stay, and all that stuff. So that's a very, if you want to understand color from a scientific standpoint, that book would be
Be
good for you.
truly educated on color. Yeah.
And then I have one called the Business and Marketing of Color. How do you market yourself as a colorist? How do you do business in terms of how do you do ratios, and how do you maximize your profit by the use of product? How many ounces of product do you need for one color? What does it cost you for an ounce of product? How much money are you making off it? How much product do you waste in the bowl? After you mix it and you apply it to the client, how many product is left over? So you know when you make your records, you say, well, I mix 2 ounces, next time I need to mix 1.5 ounces, because you'll turn the rest down the bowl. So all those things are put in that business and marketing color. How do you promote yourself as a colorist? How do you market? So all those things in the book. And then you have one is called the Trichology of Color. That one is a little bit deep. And that's what I taught yesterday at the seminar.
Okay.
And it was so well.
That's right. That's what brought you into town.
That's
You
what
were
brought
here
me into
for the seminar. You
Well, my
taught
grandkids
in
really brought me in
Atlanta.
town,
Well,
but
yeah.
I kind of pushed this in there. So Trichology of Color is understanding how hair works, how color works on hair. Although trichology means something different, how does it affect the scalp if you're using certain color. There are also some myths out there that red will give you the C word if you use too much red color in your hair. That's a myth. It has not been proven. And it's been dispelled, but people still say it. So,
I'd be dead of the C word if it did.
yeah, so they said the red seeps into your brain, into your head, and it creates nothing. That's not true. So it can't seep into your brain because you have 5 layers, and no product can penetrate down to those 5 layers.
I bet you didn't know this, Dave, but I'm not a natural redhead. I'm a blonde.
And I believe that.
Yeah.
I believe that. I've never
Yeah.
seen it. I don't think you ever know what you look like as a blonde because
No.
you haven't.
No,
It's
no.
like Lucille Ball. She doesn't know what her
No,
real hair
I-
color is because she's been coloring hair for so many
That's
years.
it.
Yeah.
My mother started putting color on lemon juice on my hair when I was a baby, so.
But
I
you
had to
know,
bleach it out. Yeah.
red fits you.
Well, I know. With a
Because
name like Bonnie Megowan, you got to be redheaded. I
I'm
mean,
not
that's
even
just
talking
a
about your skin tone.
Yeah.
Says a lot. Your skin tone has so much
lot
warmth.
of redheads in my family, and you know, my parents were kind of disappointed I wasn't redheaded, you know, because there was so many redheads. So I just, you know, we had to go along with it.
Yeah,
But I think most of my family have forgotten that I'm not redheaded. you know,
Wow.
so.
I wonder what you
And
look
of course,
like blonde.
Gene's colorblind, so he has no clue. You know.
He met you as a redhead, and now he's
No,
not. I mean, he
no.
met you. He met you as a blonde, and now you're a redhead. And
Yeah, but he's colorblind. I'm still blonde to him.
he doesn't see
And
him.
she still weighs 100 pounds too.
Yeah, I was 100 pounds when we met.
Oh wow.
Long blonde hair, the middle of my back, and
Wow.
I was
It's amazing.
yeah, we were both in college. Like I said, marriage 45 years. We were talking about that earlier.
That's
just,
crazy.
Just celebrated.
That's crazy.
And he's behind the camera there.
That's-
Hi,
that's-
Gene.
that's
Thank
an
you for
amazing
being here
feat,
tonight.
amazing. Yeah, amazing journey. And you're still so in love. She talks about her husband all the time. Every show in a class, she talks about her husband, asking the girls not to look at her husband too much. Just buy the Shears and move on.
Yes. Don't you can look, but don't touch.
Don't touch. Look
Don't
and don't
touch.
touch.
He belongs to me. All of them.
So that's the book. So we have so that's the last one. Then also I have a book on trichology called What is Good Hair? You know, for many years I've heard people say, "Oh, this daughter," and I hate to say this. So you have in some demographics, we have some people who some females who may have children more than one father.
Okay, yeah.
And based on the ethnicity of the father, they determine if the child has good hair or not. So they'll say, I have 2 daughters and one has good hair. So what is good hair? So I always tell people, good hair is hair in your head. There's no such thing as good hair. You know, it's like you're saying you have good fabric. Fabric come in all different types. Fiber is fabric. Fabric, fiber, they're the same thing. So is wool better than cotton? It depends on the season. Is silk better than polyester? It depends on the season. So you can say it's a good for a certain time period or season, but you can't say it's better than. So even certain services we render to clients, certain textures are better for that particular style or look, and so on.
That makes sense.
But you
It's,
can't
it's sort
say-
of like different cloths would be used for different purposes, and you know.
Some of them you can blend.
Yes.
So that's where you have the people that mix texture, where they have a white father, black mother, or Japanese mother, and Chinese, and something,
Yeah.
Latin father. That's
That's America. That's the
That's
multicultural. Yeah, that's the melting pot.
So now we have to do multi-textures, and we have to appreciate what is good hair. Good hair is just hair in your head. That's it. Just know how to work with it. That's it. And if people say hair is hair, I don't know if hair is really hair, but hair comes in all different types, and we have to appreciate them for what they are. We can't change it. We can modify it we can modify hair for what do you call for styling purposes, or for control, or for manageability. You know, some people have thick hair, one thin hair. Some who have thin hair, one curly, one straight, and straight, one curly. You know, I've seen it all. But it's really for manageability and appearance. It doesn't make it better or worse. I never believe in that concept. So I wrote that book called What is Good Hair. That was my trichology dissertation when I did my so-called PhD. I used some of the excerpts from what I did when I did my defense. I turned it into a book, like simplified it, so the normal person could read it and understand it. Understanding the physiology of hair, the physiology of the scalp, hair, hair ingredients and hair product ingredients. I mean, and why we get gray hair and all that stuff. That's in that book. And then I have a book called Recipes for Healthy Eating, because when you eat healthily, you end up not losing hair. You can lose hair from not eating well, eating the wrong things. If you eat lots of starchy foods all the time, your hair is going to get thinner, because starches are sugars when they're broken down. They're simple carbohydrates, and so if you have a lot of that, you start to thin a lot. Breakage.
And hair's protein.
Hair's protein.
Yeah.
And so you have to build it up. So if you have the right recipes or I have a book on that. So I kind of marry that book with the trichology.
Yeah, that does. Yeah, that I can see where it goes.
And so
together.
when I sell them separately, I charge a different price. If I sell them together, I give it special.
Yeah.
So,
And I'll have all the links below, and I'm starting on my way. I've written my first book, so we'll maybe I'll
the DIY.
DIY shear care.
I actually read the book when you sent me the draft. Pretty much. And
because I sent it to you beforehand. So
and you know what, the thing is, there are lots of things in there. Although I've been in this industry for so long, there's so many things about a share, even taking care of your share, that I don't really know. Although I'm what am I again?
You're an eagle.
I'm an eagle.
Very much an eagle.
So an eagle.
There's eagle, lion, and gorilla.
Yeah. So I'm an eagle, and although I'm an eagle, I still haven't learned, but from Bonnie, how to take care of my share, what to look for, how to make sure it's well adjusted, all those things in the book. So I think that's a great book for you to read if you want to maintain your tools and care them for a long time, so you don't have to keep sharpening them and beating them up every minute, or how to store them, how to
And it's
oil
probably
them.
even more key right now with the pandemic and people wanting to make sure that their tools are sanitized, clean for the next client, to know how to do that correctly without harming their shears. So
That's true. So
Well,
that's a great book.
we're going to wrap this up because I know your grandchildren are waiting to see you, and I so appreciate you coming by tonight, and so we could talk and chat. And is there anything you want to add?
No, clap.
Okay, we're just going to clap. So I'll thank you for being here tonight, Dave. And like I said, I give you a hug, but we're doing this pandemic thing. But I don't know how to say the end of this to wrap it up. But
You add something.
Everybody have a good time.
So clap.
And be
Let's
safe.
do one
Be
more.
safe out
Let's
there.
do one
yeah,
more.
y'all be safe.
Let's do the politics.
Yeah, we're good. We'll be safe out there.